Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about Total Killer. So this is a Amazon original which came out almost about a month ago, end of September, and I just hadn't gotten the chance to watch it because if you watch some of my more recent videos, I think like my unboxing video for like Spooky Astronauts, I mentioned that I was sick. So that's why I haven't been recording as much, putting up as much stuff, because I've been getting over a really bad upper respiratory infection that's still kind of kicking my ass. So if I sound a little raspy or there's any coughs just in this, I'm gonna try to edit as much as I can, obviously, but that is why I'm still kind of going through it. But I finally watched it so that I could review it for you guys. So if you don't know what this film is about, it focuses on this character of Jamie who gets sent back in time to October 1987, and while she's there, she's trying to prevent the murder of 3 of her mother's friends, try to catch the killer to then prevent the future death of her mother. Very interesting concept, and the film opens with us kind of meeting this Jamie character, her mom trying to convince her not to go out on Halloween night. It's obviously like the anniversary of when these deaths take place. They take place over like a couple of days. The first one's like the 27th, the second one's the 29th, and then the third murder happens on Halloween, October 31st, obviously. And so, ironically enough, I'm recording this on the 27th. Spooky. But of course, Amy ignores the warnings of her mom and goes out, and it ends up being that Jamie's mom ends up played by Julie Bowen, who does a fantastic job. She ends up being the one attacked and murdered, and honestly, like, that scene got me like in a weird emotional way. I wasn't really expecting. I think it's because that's just a character that you're normally like rooting for. She's kind of like the Sydney of this film in the beginning because she's been through this horrific thing, and she is this kind of survivor along with like her husband who was around during that time, and you're just kind of like rooting for her because she, at this point, she's made it this 30-some years, but she's really done everything to like try to keep her daughter safe as well. She made sure she like takes self-defense classes since she was like a kid, and so to watch her be, and like she really is fighting off this guy. Like, he doesn't just come in and instantly murder her, like she is kicking his ass and fighting him off, and unfortunately he still ends up killing her, and it's very sad. Like, I was very sad for this character. But then yeah, we have Jamie, whose best friend is like the super genius who is, they're having this state fair at like this old, what used to be like this old fair grounds that was like really popular back in the 80s, and her and Jamie best friend, it builds this like time machine based off of the designs of like her mother, who just was never really fully able to do it, and Jamie ends up getting sent back in time while fighting off the killer. And yeah, she goes about trying to kind of rescue all of her mom's friends, and she doesn't initially, and what's interesting is like when she gets there, she hadn't realized that they were like that close. Like, she knew her mom knew these people in high school, and she even says like, everybody in the small town knows each other, so she just kind of assumed that was it. She didn't realize that they were all like, these were her mom's absolute best friends that were killed off, and then she finds out that her mom actually kind of sucks. Like, her mom is this part of this group of popular girls called the Mollies, because they obsess over Molly Ringwald, which I get. I myself am a huge fan of the 80s, and I love just 80s films. I love 80s teen films. Pretty much anything that Molly Ringwald was in, I just love her, so I totally get that obsession, which it is kind of funny because, I mean, Molly Ringwald plays popular in films, but she also played like a geek character a lot of times. Anyway, rambling. But yeah, she finds out that her mom actually really kind of sucks, but she sneaks her way into this group, and unfortunately, no matter what she tries to do, these characters, these friends of her mom's, are still killed off. It's just the order in which they end up killed, it switches. And that's kind of like really the only thing that she's initially able to change. But she and her mom and her dad and some of the other friends involved do eventually end up fighting off and defeating the killer, and I'm not gonna give that away because that is like a big major spoiler in the film, and if you haven't seen it, I think it's worth watching because it is a character that I didn't necessarily expect. There's a couple of characters that they definitely try to lean us towards, some of these like geeky characters that the Mollies bullied. But yeah, I will say this is a bit of a spoiler. Again, I'm not gonna say who it is, and I'll put a little spoiler warning time frame here, but we do find out that there are in fact 2 killers, which Jamie does make a reference to at one point via Scream. There are actually a few Scream, she actually does make like some Scream references in this, which was great. Of course you have to, I mean, the film, similar vibe, group of teenagers fighting off the killer, so of course this film was like right up my alley and I ended up really enjoying it. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting. There's definitely some like cheesy moments, especially with the time travel. There's a lot of references to Back to the Future, but yeah, I really liked it, and it's definitely a really good little slasher film. So if you are someone like me who loves slashers, especially your kind of teen group Scream-esque slasher films, and you haven't watched this one, I definitely suggest checking it out, especially if you do have a Prime account. It's on there to watch. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this quick little review. If you did, please do give it a big old thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button for more spooky and horror related content, and I will see you all again later with another video. Bye.